Welcome back to Faith Forward, where faith meets real life. I am your host, Deborah Asma. This season of Faith Forward, we are embarking on a campaign around postnatal depression. So today's conversation is one many people overlook, but so many mothers silently experience. Our topic on postnatal depression is one that is dear to my heart as a mother myself. Motherhood is often expected to look joyful all the time, but behind the smiles, some mothers struggle with sadness, anxiety, exhaustion, and emotional pain no one talks about. Joining me today is our special guest, Joan Kwashi, an HR learning and development professional passionate about people growth, workplace learning, and talent development. She's also a proud mother of two beautiful kids, balancing career, leadership, and family with purpose and dedication. My guest, Joan Kwashi. So, Joan, before we get started, I've done your introduction. I know you have kids, you're a corporate woman, but tell me about yourself. Before all these other bits came into the picture, you have your own self-identity. How would you describe yourself?
Should I say I was a shadow of myself? Because I'm really a shy person, very reserved, and I like to keep to myself. I'm not the outing type. Those times you could give me a book and I'll finish it. Once there's food in the house, my bed is there. I loved sleeping. I still do, though I don't get to sleep enough. So I was the reserved, quiet type. I like to read people from the corner. So, when there are programs or we are going somewhere, or even in school, I'll just, sit somewhere, analyze everything before I feel like I'm comfortable enough to go in there, or let me just withdraw because I don't know if I'll be accepted. So, before my kids, Joan was just a quiet person, minding her own business.
Yeah.
Somebody that's probably you can pass by without noticing.
So, you get married. You're married, right? Or I'm just assuming you're married.
I'm married.
You get married. You have we all have ideas of how our future would look like and how it should be.
Definitely.
I'm sure you had ideas of how motherhood would also be like, the whole pregnancy process and all that.
Yes.
I'm sure you had I saw people doing photo shoots when they are pregnant. I was like, nah, this is gonna be me.
Exactly.
I'm going to be living it up and having fun. What were your impression of how motherhood and pregnancy and the whole thing going to be like?
So I think that's what you said. Probably movies too had a way of influencing me. So I felt it was going to be quite easy. Every sense of the word, everything about it. But when reality sets in and you realize that, so all that I used to read about or what I was watching wasn't all that. I thought it was going to be rosy, like the ladies you mentioned. You go to the photo shoot and all that. During my pregnancy, you can't come and tell me I should go for a photo shoot. I am somewhere thinking, I'm tired. I was frustrated, I was angry all the time, and I was eating like a hippo. All my money went to food. Nothing could change my mind about food. My bag was always full of food. My car was always full of food. And anywhere I could get, I want to sleep. So photo shoot was totally out. I felt I look hideous. And I'm not the type who wears a lot of makeup. So I felt it was not going to be a true picture of myself. It didn't come to mind then when I actually got pregnant. But like I'm saying, before, why not? But when it came to pass, I realized there's no way I can. I admire those who do it. But
yeah. I think the pregnancy experience is different for different mothers. But this, was it from your first pregnancy, or because you have two kids, did you have the same experience for both, or it was just your first pregnancy that you felt the weight of carrying the child?
It was both. It was both. The first, I would say the first was even better than the second, though it wasn't so good for me. I think beginning, the usual morning sickness and irritability and weakness was there. After, I think, 5-6 months, I felt very strong. I could work. If I say I could work, as in house working, office working, it was, I was on top of the world. I could do everything, provided I had food. And I was glowing. I could see that my skin looked, it looked
good.
Very good without makeups. I was happy. But the second, totally opposite. My bedroom door closer to the washroom was more like my sleeping place, because I was vomiting almost everything I eat. I was always tired. At a point at work, I had to be taken off my schedule because I couldn't do it. I was a field officer then, so I had to stay at the office just to do one or two things. Walking across the street to go and buy food was even an issue because I come back and I'm panting. It wasn't so good. And the position of the baby, latter days, I always had to sit like this on my bed, lean against the wall and sleep for like 6 months till I delivered.
Because you couldn't lie down.
I couldn't lie down. Her position, she was on my lungs. And every time I go for antenatal there, my gynecologist was trying to just shift her a bit and she wasn't budging. I think at a point when she was growing, she got stuck. So she couldn't move again. She was just stuck at the same place for like 3 months, the same position. So walking was an issue for me because she was basically on my lungs. Talking was an issue for me. Sleeping was an issue for me. So for the second, it was worse than the first. It was worse than the first.
When did you realize that there was a problem? So going into the emotions around childbirth, you've given birth. I'm guessing the difficulties you've mentioned are the difficulties of carrying a child, how it varies from mothers across the globe. But in terms of depression around having the baby itself, when did you realize that there was a problem?
So there was one time we used to stay a bit further from where we are now. We used to be at Amasaman, and from Amasaman to work was like 2 hours. Or basically to town. So if you're going somewhere, you basically use the whole day in and out.
Like
you come back and it's late evening, or it's evening because there was traffic, and around that time they had started constructing the road. So it was terrible. If you should leave, you get to Pokwase after 6 a.m. You have to go home because there's no way you can make it to town before 8. And there was this time, my firstborn, he used to cry a lot. He was a crybaby. Every time, then I'll pick him up. First mother. And I felt like his crying, it goes far. I don't want people to hear, hey, what are you doing to this child? And this child is always crying. So I'll pick him up. And one time, I just wanted to go to the kitchen to eat. And this boy, he couldn't keep quiet. He was like wailing. Shrill voice. I said, I'm not going to pick him up. So I entered the kitchen. I had a monitor, so I could hear him there in the monitor at the kitchen. He was screaming his lungs out. Then I started crying. And at a point, I didn't care anymore. He could cry anytime he wants to. And I realized, like, hey, is it normal for a mother to feel that way? I just gave birth to this boy. And he's crying and I'm not even budging. So I called my mom. She was intercraded then. And I told her that, I need to bring the boy over for some. I told her, I think 2 weeks.
How old was he then?
Do I remember? I don't remember. I think probably 7 or 8 months.
Okay.
Then the 2 weeks turned into a month. And when I took him, I came back to Accra. I was so relieved. It was like burden had been lifted off my shoulders. I needed to get him away because I felt that if I hadn't taken him, I don't know what I would have done, because at a point he was irritating me. Anytime I see that he's crying, I want somewhere to hide. I don't even want to go and check up on him because he was annoying me. I don't know if I can use that word. There was this anger. And yes, and I was scared. It's like, hey, how can I be angry at this child? I brought this child into the world. He doesn't have anybody. So if I don't love this child and I'm rather developing this feeling, I knew that I needed a break because something was happening to me. I needed the break. I was breaking down. So my mom called after 2 weeks and she was like, didn't I say 2 weeks? Now it's getting to a month. I wasn't even calling to check up on them.
You were removed.
Yes, I just wanted a little peace because I felt if I hadn't removed him, something would have happened to me.
And you could probably.
I was breaking down.
Were you alone?
What do you mean by alone?
So you keep mentioning yourself and the baby. I'm guessing your husband was around then.
Oh, he was, but his work is crazy. So the two of us are basically alone. I think when I gave birth to my firstborn, my mom hadn't gone on retirement yet. So she exhausted her leave when I delivered. She stayed with me. And after that, I think she took another 2 weeks just so she could stay with me. But she couldn't take any more. She had to return to work and she had to go back to Takoradi. So I followed her there. I was home then. Then we came back to Accra to have the naming ceremony then? Now it's christening, So we came back to have that. Then she had to go back to work. So I was alone here in Accra with the boy. In the morning, my husband would go to work. He'll come in the evening. So basically, I was there alone with him during the day. So those were the days that was very challenging for me.
Did you ever talk to your husband about this? The feelings? Were you ever frank about it with him?
No, I wasn't. Because he was going through, he had one or two projects that he needed to focus. I didn't want to burden him then. I think around that time, he was schooling then to a lot of pressure, combining that with 2 jobs. So I didn't want to bother him much. I felt I could handle it. I mean, when he comes and he can help, of course he does. But John naturally too is a bit reserved, like I mentioned. So I wasn't really sharing much. I kept bottling things up. Probably that was what was breaking me because I wasn't sharing much. Yes. So, and my mom was a no-go zone because if I should tell her, she worries more than I do. So if I tell her, then I'll end up worrying about myself and her too. So I think I bottled a lot of things up and that was when I started breaking down.
Most mothers, statistically, who are going through postnatal depression are considering suicide for themselves and also harm to the baby.
Exactly.
And this is the reason why the conversation needs to happen. It's not just about being sad, being tired. It's about considering harm to the baby. And if we don't talk about it, sometimes we hear on the news a mother dumped her baby in the bin. A mother did X, Y, and Z. This is what is causing the mother to do that.
Those times, they were just stories to me when I hear. It's like, mommy bend up a day, you know? But when you go through it, you realize that, it's not so far from you.
So our society calls it wickedness. You carry the baby for 9 months and then you go and dump the baby in a bin.
Once the story comes out, you're condemned.
Because we don't know any better. And the women themselves have not been brought to know any better. So all our mind, even before we went through it, we were saying the women were wicked. What kind of mother carries a child and goes to dump him in the bin? We said it ourselves.
Yes.
But our experience has taught us better. And that's why these conversations are relevant. So if we are even calling for advocacy and we ourselves can say that I wanted to pick my baby from the cot and drop him. What
okay,
kind
so
of advocacy are we going to ask for?
This one is milder than what I wanted to say, so I think, yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say? Because there are women who are going through the act. They've wrapped the baby in a rubber. They've dumped the baby in a bin. They've thrown the baby on high-rise rubbish and they've run away. We want to let that mother know that it is not you. It's an emotional and it's a hormonal issue. It is something that is coming up that you don't have control over. And as a community, we can help you. So if you see me driving in my car and we see you driving in your car and our children are wearing nice jeans and top and we are happy about it.
It's not all that.
It didn't just happen.
The perfect family.
It didn't just happen. And we need to see it as a community. We need to recognize it. We need to let people know your sister is going through this. Your wife is going through this. Like you're saying, you never told your husband. You never told your mom, but you were going through it and you feel guilty. How are you going to have this conversation with him? He won't even understand.
Exactly.
He won't even, we are praying to God to give you a child. We are praying to God to give you a child.
And
God has given you a child. You want to kill the child.
And some people want, they are not getting, you've gotten, and you're complaining. I mean, you're very right about that. Yeah, I mean, you're very right. There's nothing more to say. It's positive. It's just that.
Most people describe this feeling as not being interested in the child. I mean, I have always said that when I gave birth to my first child, I was asked, because when mine started from the hospital, I was asked, do I want to hold the baby? I said, no, I don't want to hold the baby. And I remember the nurses looking at me because I emphatically said, no, I don't want to hold the baby. And I had to remind myself that the expectation is for me to hold the baby. So later I said, okay, yeah, bring me the baby. Because like you're saying, you've seen the movies, you have an idea of what your reaction should be. But that reaction wasn't natural to me. So most people would say that like you've described it, you are removed. Some people don't care. They don't even feel anything at all. Some people also feel so pressured that they even want to harm the baby, and that feeling makes them feel bad about themselves. Mm-hmm. So in your case, what I'm hearing is that you were so tired and you had gotten to a place where there was anger brewing in you.
Exactly.
Anytime you hear the baby cry. And then it means that anger could have led to self-harm or even harm to the baby. Yes. How did that make you feel, knowing that as a mother, this is what you were thinking about your child?
I felt bad. And that was why I made that decision. I mean, I don't remember telling my husband about it. I think he just came and I told him, I want to take the boy to my mom's place in Takoradi for some time. And he said, okay. I don't even remember discussing with him because when it dawned on me that for a mother to think that way is dangerous. So I needed to act fast. Yeah. And, for this part of the world, it's not so, it's not a topic that, yes, exactly. You go and tell somebody who's like, we all went through it. What are you talking about? There's nothing like that. You're just being lazy. Get up and do what you need to do. But the mind is something else. And I felt, there was nobody to talk to. Nobody could help me at that time. And so I needed to help myself and my child. And that was why I made the decision to take, yes.
When did your mom realize there was a problem?
She never knew there was a problem. Nobody knows.
I'm sure she felt it wasn't normal for you to just bring the baby and not call, not check, not be concerned about it.
I don't think it occurred to her or it dawned on her. No, because we never talked about it. She and I, our siblings, we are a very close family. We talk a lot. At least every 2 days, sometimes every day, we talk. So she's the type, she shares. We call her Minister of Information. Mm-hmm. So if she felt something, she would have said it. But I don't know. And it was just that one time. So I don't know if it occurred to her. Because when she called me after 2 weeks, she was irritated. I was like, She didn't even mention that, I've not been calling to check about them. She was like, but you said 2 weeks. And in Takoradi too, she is also alone. Okay. And she felt she was with a baby then. She couldn't go to her usual. Yes. So she's basically indoors. When she needs food stuff, she'll call on, we had a neighbor who would just do that. So she felt confined. And the fact
that
that,
was where her focus was.
yes, 2 weeks I had the labs and I hadn't come. So I don't think she realized it. We never talked about it.
I think it's also because in our community, nobody actually expects you to have that problem. So nobody would
Exactly.
think that is what is
Exactly.
going on.
And that is when I felt that there was nobody I could talk to then. Nobody would understand. And I know they would say, oh, but we all went through it. I have this number of kids. This person has this number of kids. Nobody complained of that. So it's like, are you ready to be or what? What are you talking about? So I felt there was nobody to talk to then. So I had to do everything myself.
Did you go through this with your second child as well?
Oh, yes, I did. But it was better because now I knew how to handle it. It was way better. And at that time, my mom had retired too. So she stayed longer. Yes.
And the help helped.
Yes.
So
yes.
To put it like that,
Yes. It was better for her. During the pregnancy, it wasn't. But when I delivered her, it was better. I could manage better.
What was the turning point for you after you sent the baby to your mother? And then I'm sure there was a moment where you realized that, look, I need to go for the child, right? In preparing your mind and your physical state to go for the child, what were the things you did? How did you bring yourself to that place?
Honestly, I don't think I went through any type of phase or transformation. I think when my mom called, it was always in my mind after 2 weeks that, hey, Joan, you have to go for this boy. We have to go. But I was silent in that area until her call came. And when her call came, I felt, okay, I'm okay. Let me go for him. So I don't know what I actually went through. Probably was God. He changed something in me. He changed probably my way of thinking. He gave me some strength that I probably knew. I don't know. I didn't go through anything. I don't remember anything I went through. I was just there when her call came. It's like, okay, the following week I will. That was like a month after. And I felt sound. Yes, I think being away from him was all that I needed. A little break. Because 24/7 is like... And like I'm saying, because she wasn't with me, I'll take care of him during the night. I'll take care of him during the day. So I needed that break. So I didn't really go through anything.
So you think stress was a key motivator for this?
I think it was. And for the fact that, when it's your first time, your first mother, I don't know this part of the world. We don't really talk about it much. But
in your antenatal visits, did you tell your doctor about this?
Oh, so you see, when you go for that, I think we had classes then and all that, and where we have those other exercises, Kegel exercises and all that. But we'll talk. This is what you're supposed to expect when you deliver, or even before delivery. We went through all that. I think we're going every month or so, every 2 months. But it's just talk. That is how it felt to me. It was just talk.
So you, even when you were experiencing it, you couldn't go back and tell them that, look, I'm having a problem. I feel my baby is irritating me. I'm getting angry.
I couldn't tell anybody. I felt bad. I think that was the main thing. I felt bad to feel that way. Yeah. So, and I felt people would look down on me. People would judge me. So there's no way I was going to tell anybody.
Wrong with you.
Yes. And like I was thinking, everybody, all those other mothers, they've gone through it. I've never heard stories. Probably they kept to themselves, just or they never experienced.
Like you did.
Yes. So I didn't really know anybody who had experienced that. And during these antenatal classes, never was this thing mentioned. It was mentioned, but not in depth. Like you can go through.
You should expect nausea.
Yes, you can go through depression and all that. It was like sitting in the classroom and you are being taught. So it was more like theory. There was no connection. But when it actually happened, I didn't know who to go to because I didn't know who would understand. And I felt bad. I felt very bad about it. So it was just me and my God. I was just crying myself out. I didn't even, sometimes when my husband is asleep, I'll go to the washroom, sit on the boat, and I'll cry my eyes out. What is wrong with me? Why am I so wicked? I'm doing this to this boy. He's crying and I'm not minding him. Why am I doing that? So that 1 month, I needed that. I think it was God who saw me through, because I didn't go through anything else.
I think that in our environment, there are a lot of things that faith helps us with, as against other environments where you have other support system, like you have a well-planned medical support system, and like you're saying, you go to antenatal, like people recognize these things. A lot of these shortcomings in our environment is helped by our faith. So it's just you and your God. There is nothing else, and you have to find a way of getting out, and that's where your faith becomes very prevalent. And I think the struggle is also knowing that even in the faith aspect, you are not expected to have this challenge. Like, you cannot even go and speak in the community of other faithful people that you have this
You still
issue.
be judged.
You still be judged.
Yes.
And so these conversations are supposed to help us realize that our faith is not an absence of struggle
at all.
It is just it's more of like the anchor that holds us in our struggle to overcome. But the faith is not supposed to be interpreted as not, you shouldn't have struggle just because you have faith. But I want to go a bit into the burden that we feel we have to carry alone. What is it that makes women or mothers feel that I am struggling with a child I didn't bring to the world alone? It was a shared effort. So whatever pain I'm going through, the other person should also know about it and help carry it. You were working before you got pregnant. So your husband also working isn't anything new. Yes, he's doing some projects and all that. Yeah, I also have things that I'm doing. This is as equally important as your project that you're going through. And I'm saying this because I understand that feeling. I mean, there are times where when I stayed a bit in the hospital, and so I had my husband come to visit me every morning, every evening. My mom would come with food. I stayed for like almost 3 months just in the hospital. And there were days that they would come and all I wanted to do was cry. So I'm probably crying before they come. And when I realized they are coming, I turned my head. I had a face towel that I would just clean up my face and look at them. But I wanted them to leave so I could cry. And I wanted them to leave because to me, my husband is also very busy. He's made time to come and see me. People were calling him when he was even at the hospital, so I could see the urgency. And I thought I was a burden, but why should I feel I'm a burden? I didn't go get myself pregnant alone. I didn't go sit somewhere and get myself and then expecting people to take care of me. Why do we put ourselves through things alone?
I'm thinking there are 2 things. Our culture is one. I want to believe that Ghanaians, Africans, how our ancestors told us, our mothers, our grandmothers, whether you're working or not, for the woman, whether you're working or not, the kitchen or the home is still your responsibility. And so your husband would get up from the house, go to work. In your case, he came to visit you and all that. At the end of the day, he will go to work. The baby is with you. So the baby is your responsibility. You have to take care of the child. You have to take care of the home. And so it's sunk in us that whether you're working or not, it is still your responsibility. The father can come and help. But our society doesn't see that job to be the main job of the man. It is your job. So if you've decided to work, that's your problem. But your primary role is to take care of your child and the home. So you have to try and balance.
Concerns around the child, whatever feeling you're going
exactly.
through, whatever burden, it's not a shared responsibility. The shared responsibility is on the financials.
It's supposed to be shared.
But
everything else.
In our society, the emotional aspect, the work aspect, the chore is not shared.
It's for the
just
woman.
The financial that
yes. It's for the woman, because currently, if your child misbehaves in public, they don't insult the man. Yeah. They will never say that it's the man. So it's your
But
responsibility.
when the child is very successful, they'll say that the man did
Of
well.
course. I mean, that is how our culture is. I think now it's better because you have most of the young guys now, young husbands now, they help. My husband helps a lot. At a point, he was scrubbing. He scrubs. Because I start to scrub and I black out. I'm tired. I'm sitting on the floor. So, I mean, now things are changing. When you go for antenatal, I used to go for antenatal, you see the fathers will come along. They will sit in, they will listen if there are issues. They know when we go for those exercise classes, fathers are there. So now they are more involved. So if at a point, you, the mother, you are breaking down, they come in. During the night, some dads, they wake up. So the mother would express or something, then they will feed their child so the mother can rest. Then during the day, there's the switch. So nowadays it's getting better.
The changes.
Yes. But primarily, we've been made to know that it's our issue. It's our role. So it's our burden. So if you're doing anything else aside taking care of the home, that's the extra work you have to do. Nobody told you to do that because you were made to understand that your main role is to take care of the house.
But the expectation with our the economic expectation now doesn't leave room for luxury for the women to just take care of the home as our parents were doing in the past. Now you have to go out. So I like the fact that you're saying that there is recognition coming in now.
Yes.
And so the men coming up are, not maybe all of them, but most of them are now beginning to see that they need to play a role. How do we handle the bit about the mental stigma? You know, nobody shies away from saying they have malaria, I keep saying. Even diarrhea. When you get to the office and you say, Charlie, I'm running, nobody shies away from it. But we are still not able to say that I want my baby to die. You know, I remember I was telling someone and mine started when I was pregnant, even before I gave birth. I would wake up in the morning and I'm crying. And I'm crying because I want the baby to die. And so I'm looking around me and there's no blood on the bed. And for me, seeing blood means that I have miscarried. And that was all I wanted to see. Because I'm stressed, I'm tired, I'm weak. I lost so much weight. I was weighing about 43 kg. You could see my ribs. Like when my mom is picking me up to the bathroom, she's scared. I looked so fragile that I could break. So I wanted the baby to die. But I couldn't tell my mom that I want the baby to die. And I never told anybody about this. How do we open up the conversation and not feel judged, not feel that there is something wrong with you, that you are weak, you are flawed, you don't believe in God enough? How do we get to that place?
I think our culture is what is making it difficult, but we'll just have to start talking about it. I think that is the only way we can. The more we do, the more we would have a lot of women coming out to also share their story. And ultimately, I feel like those in authority need to also get involved. But it all boils down to we coming out to start sharing. We need to come out and share. When we start sharing, you by all means get people who are also coming out to share their story. It goes far, then you see that you're getting the attention that you need. But for now, I think we can only talk about it because it's actually difficult for it to be accepted because people don't think it's a sickness. It's even something that you have to talk about. It's normal. You're a woman. You need to go through it. And our culture doesn't entertain these kind of... It's like they will tell you, Abrafo Yoruba. What is depression? There's no depression in Ghana.
It's in middle.
Yes, it's in middle. And those things. So our culture has shaped our way of life in such a way that you can't talk about it. But the only way we can break this and make it open for other people to share, for the governments to get involved, so that we can have these programs, short programs at the hospitals to help with the mothers, is when we come out and we start sharing. I think that's the only way for now. I don't know if there's any other way, because nobody wants to talk about it.
Yeah, I know the government launched the maternal mental health policy on the 31st of March. I was happy to be there. And I mean, speaking also from the Jubilant Group perspective, we had started our campaign then. And one integral part of the campaign is in partnership with our hospitals, where this and we have Lister, 37, Legon, partnership with these hospitals, we are bringing some level of training to the frontliners to be able to recognize these symptoms in mothers when they come in, and not treat it as, something, one of those things, and offer support to them and escalate for professional help when they see the mother needs it. And we're also trying to see how we can inculcate it in the antenatal care activities that happens in the hospital. So, like you're saying, not just mention, but talk about it. Have open sessions where the women can come and engage on these topics and be open. And I believe that these conversations as well would help. If everyone sees it, we have it all put together, we look okay, we are doing okay. I'm sure when you see our kids, they are looking nice, they are going. Nobody will think that there was a time in your life that you would wish this child didn't exist, and you were even contemplating, harm and all that. Nobody will think that. But I think also that sometimes we can rope in some of these activities we do for mothers. So like Mother's Day. Okay. Let's not just celebrate the strength of the woman. It is good to celebrate the strength of the woman, but not in the way where burden is put on us to show forth strong all the time. But from an appreciative point that, you guys have done well, you've been through a lot, and recognizing those things we've been through. And this should be part of those things that we recognize. So to a mother listening to us, a woman who is contemplating having a baby, someone who is presently pregnant and experiencing some of these things that we are going through, what would you want to say to that woman?
You're not alone, first. And secondly, like they always say, there's nothing new under the sun. What you're going through, someone to somewhere had gone through it or is going through it. You need to talk to somebody. You just need to talk to somebody. You're not alone. And don't feel bad when you feel that way. Immediately you see one or two signs that you think is not normal, or you feel you shouldn't be doing, you need to talk to somebody. Because that is when things become dangerous. I want to believe that at the beginning, you can't really identify that this is what you are going through. But at a point, you realize that, no, what I'm feeling, I shouldn't be feeling that way. You need to talk to somebody. For Ghanaians, or should I say, mostly Africans, we are closer to our moms. You get one or two people who are not. You're closer to your dad. If you feel like you're not closer to your mom, where you can share, but you have a friend or someone you can freely and openly talk to that person. If you can talk to your gynecologist, all the better. They can probably direct you as to who can help you through that process. So just bear in mind, you're not alone. Don't be shy to talk about it. It's a very dangerous disease. I call it a disease because sometimes you don't really overcome it fully. So once you realize the signs, talk to somebody so that you can enjoy your child.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay. So the other bit would be for the people around us, our support system, our husbands, our mothers, our siblings, our friends. What role do you think they can play in situations like this?
I think their usual way of taking care of the mother and the baby when especially they get home, they should also engage the mother more. So there are times, my mom, for instance, used to take care of my kids during the night so I could sleep. Then during the day, I would take them. That was the shift system that we had adopted then. But aside that, we were not talking How are you feeling?
Yeah.
Is there anything you want me to do for you? Is there anything on your mind that you wish to discuss? I mean, it was just by default. Not that it was intentional, but, we're just trying to help each other. Clean up, eat, go and rest when the baby sleeps and all that. You take up your shift when it's your turn and all that. But there's something more that we need to do. We need to talk to the mothers. Some of them are a bit shy, especially when you start feeling that way and you don't want to talk about it. So I think the husbands and the mothers, the sisters, please come closer to us. Because sometimes we will not open up. We just have to probe. Are you feeling okay today? Is there anything you want me to do for you? Is there anything in your mind? When you keep on pushing, the mother feels like, oh, okay, so you're interested in my well-being. Let me be open enough and share. So I think aside taking care of the kids so we could take our bath, so we can go out and buy foodstuffs and come and all that, please get closer to us emotionally too. Ask questions, probe, like I said. And we'll get a lot of them opening up before it even becomes something else. Yeah. Because day in, day out, we are telling you how we feel, what we think is right, and in your mind you probably think is not right. You are neutral, so you can easily pick up the signs before even the mother does. So I think they can do more by just opening up, yes, and
not
talking
just the
to
baby,
yes,
on you,
yes.
Yeah.
Let the mother feel that, okay, so you don't care, you're not only caring about the baby, you care about my well-being too. And I mean, it's human nature. We'll open up.
Yeah,
that's it. We'll open up.
Thank you so much. I think this has been a very beautiful conversation.
Thank you too.
As women, we need to get to a place where we stop brandishing these statements of, oh, you are not the only one, and we have all done it, and that's what our mothers did, and even I this. We need to stop accepting pain as a natural order for growth, and wearing it as a badge of honor. That, oh, me brain, I really struggled. So that it sounds as though when we say these things, that's when we have showed that we are women. That's when we have shown that we've gone through the journey of motherhood. It's not something that we should look forward to. And like John has said, if you are a mother going through this, you are not alone. You are not doing something wrong. There's not something wrong with you. It doesn't undermine the faith that you have in the God that you serve. If anything at all, it should bring you closer to your God, and it should also get you to ask for help. Strength is also seen in your ability to ask for help, not in shouldering things. When you are weak and you are able to go out and say that I need help, I need support, that in itself is strength. And if you're going through anything at all and you need an immediate help and assistance, please call the mental health support line. Most of us don't even know that line exists. It is toll-free, it is not paid, and you can get help. And that's 0800 678 678. 0800 678 678. Thank you so much, Joan, for coming to the show.
Thank you, Debbie.
We are happy you shared. It's a start
Grateful
of a
to
good
be
conversation.
here.
A special thank you to our sponsors, Yogi Yogurt, always tasting good, and Glam Secret for my beautiful makeup and styling. And to a new addition to our sponsorship list, Tula Secret, a feminine wellness brand focused on intimate care, reproductive health, confidence, and overall feminine wellness. Thank you all for supporting today's episode of Faith Forward. Until next time, keep moving forward in faith.